Good morning, my friends. Welcome to Trashcraft Tuesday. It's been a couple of weeks since we've last had one, but I'm excited to do one today. So what are we working with? We are working with these fun little shaped bits of cardboard. It's a very light card, not heavy at all. So the story behind these. Recently, when I say recently, it's maybe 3-4 months ago, so not that recent, I guess. We changed the tea that we were drinking. So hubby went to mainly drinking green tea, although he's kind of shifted away from that again, just having a little bit of green tea. He went to having only green tea. Can't stand the stuff myself, but anyway. And the boxes of tea bags come with these little dividers in between the tea bags. So you get all your row of tea bags in between the dividers. Awesome. And then because hubby wasn't drinking so much like regular tea or coffee, I went to a better quality tea, which also comes with these little dividers. So these are not all the ones I've got. There are others floating around somewhere. But I've got 6 here, and that's more than enough to play with today. So I just thought, one, they're a really good material. They're cardstock, but not thick cardstock, so it makes them usable for lots of things because they're not too bulky. 2 is the shape. I mean, look at that shape. Isn't it just interesting? It's like a tag, but at both ends. So I'm thinking maybe we'll do a tag sort of thing as well, but the first project I have is not a tag. It is a sideways belly band. I thought, why not? I haven't actually checked it against a page, but perfect width to go is a sideways belly band. So I'm going to be using my 2 kits today, the Colour Essentials Plaid, so that's the Plaid, and the Mottled. So because I've got so many pages of these printed out, would you believe, if you watched the last video where I did this, it was last week, I printed out right, did the video, had lunch after I did the video, a couple of hours doing other stuff, and suddenly it was quiet and I could hear the printer running. I was like, why is the printer going? You would not believe it. It had been printing out for hours and I had not noticed because I was busy doing other things. There were other noises going on that disguised the sound of the printer in the office. So I've got bundles and bundles of these papers printed out. I don't know what's up with my printer. I had to cancel, find out where the print job was, cancel it. Anyway, been through a lot of paper and a lot of ink, just saying. So I thought, you know, rather than double-sided print, I'm going to take 2 of the single-sided pages, glue them together, which I've already done, and that's our journal page. And I'm just looking at the cat eating. I think it's Snuggles. Snuggles! Smokey! They're very hard to tell apart, Snuggles and Smokey. Smokey being the next door neighbour's cat. Sorry, I'm totally distracted. Yeah, it's Smokey. I thought so. Wasn't responding to the whistling. And yeah, it's Smokey. It's the next door neighbour's baby. Anyway, let's get on track. So not a good start, is it? Distraction reigns supreme. So this is one of the pages that printed part of. My printer was having a bit of an issue, wasn't it? It was, and I don't know why. Only thing I can think of, because I was printing wirelessly from my laptop, because my printer's hooked up to my desktop computer and I was printing wirelessly from my laptop, is that there was some interruption in the connection, in the internet connection that must have. Honestly, guys, it's the only thing I can think of to blame for what was going on, because I checked the settings and it was only set to print 1 set, and and they were all printed at the highest quality as well. Like, yeah, spent quite a bit of ink and paper, all on my good paper as well. But hey, you know, it just means more material to make things with. Is that, yes, that's gonna, might as well chop that off as well. Yeah, so, you know, plenty of material. Look forward to seeing these papers a lot, guys, because I have a lot of copies of them to play with. And I'm not going to waste it. Absolutely not. So I'm going to glue this on here, and maybe we want to actually glue at the end so we're not creating two smaller scraps. And actually I'm going to leave the shiny side as the, do I want to leave the shiny side? No, I don't. If I leave the shiny side, shiny side for the ephemera to slide in, it might not actually grip it. It might just slide right through. So use the rougher side against the ephemera. So I'm just going to use tacky glue. Thanks for coming to Hotel Neighbour, Smokey. See you next time. Such a toad. We've given up showing him away because, yeah, we're actually trying to encourage him to come and have pets, but over time I think he will, because he's stopped reacting so much. He's not like, oh, somebody moved, I'm out of here. He's stopped doing that. So I think over time he will possibly come for pets. We shall see. In the meantime, he just pops in often a few times a day just to eat our cat food. And that's not such an issue now that we only have 2 cats. So it's not costing us an arm, leg and a half a foot to feed our own and somebody else's. So we're just kind of letting him. Right, I was thinking now that I would cut with my fancy scissors. These are scallop ones, and create some interesting little effect. And I'm going to put the teeth of the pattern up against the edge of the cardstock. That's my plan. Let's see how it does. So, ooh. Remember to stop with your fancy scissors before you get to the end, or it's going to do a funny hard cut that's going to muck up the pattern. So how's your Tuesday going? What are you up to? Well, before you started watching this video, what were you up to? Obviously, if you're watching the video, that's what you're doing right now. But are you crafting along? Are you doing something fun? Just got a little slight chink there that didn't cut properly. So just take that out with my fine scissors. Oops, I've got a, well, that went a bit messy, but it's just that the piece hasn't come out. So just take the scissors and do it, and it's fine. I'm being super fussy here. More fussy than being on video actually requires. But, you know, I do me. You do you. Right, so that's one side. I think that's quite cute. So I'm going to do the other side as well. Paying attention to the corners, which is the trickiest bit. Trying to line up the pattern of the scissors as much as I can. Cool, done. So I think we just had one little issue on the corner, but actually it seems to have resolved. And usable scrap. Excuse me, still froggy. Mr. Frog has not left me yet. Oh my gosh, how cute is that? I love that. Now, of course, as an anchor, I am going to ink it. 100% not essential, not necessary, but as an anchor, that's It's just what I do, so I will do it. If you're not an inker, don't bother. Don't do it unless you really want to. Do the ends. And of course we'll decorate this up a little bit. I've never done a belly band with their fancy edging. I thought that it just sounded like fun to me. Why not? Why not? I just think that is the cutest thing. And I don't actually want it on this page. It's the writing page, and I've chosen to put the writing page on the outside. It was quite deliberate. And the all over pattern page, but this is actually really writable as well. But I think that's just so cute. I keep saying it, but it's true. I love it. I'm going to glue it on and then I'll decorate it. So just on each end. Oh, excuse me. It's my cup of tea going down. Down the gurgler, as they say. Right, that I think is Snuggles coming in, and it is. Whoops, a bit of ink. Oh well. Bit of ink smear between threads, not a problem. Okay, let's decorate it up. Do we want a bit of book page or music? Choices, or it's a little bit of map. It's sideways. I'm just going to do it, guys. I'm just doing it. It's just a nice little scrap left over from Deal It Up Challenge. So we might as well use it. Get it used. Get it down. Not floating around anymore. Right. So just pop that there. And in the honour of Trash Craft Tuesday, using up our trashy little scraps. Has to be a win, doesn't it? Okay, that's on there. Now I want some sort of, I'm thinking something that extends above and below. Something, I don't know, with a bit of movement, or do you like this little action I'm doing? I don't know, I'm in a weird mood. Can you tell? I'm just looking. Just wonder whether I've got anything in here. This illustrated encyclopedic dictionary type thing. They're all a bit small, I think. Well, they're not so small, but not exactly the right direction either. Something like this, but it's not calling to me. Half a skeleton? No. Ooh, what about one of these birdies? The black and white, but I quite like the idea of black and white. Did want something sort of with, you know, that sort of flowing thing happening. Some knights. Just having another quick flick, see if there's anything I like better. There's sort of several pages of this type where there's whatever subject it is, multiple illustrations, and they're a bit bigger. So now I'm just flicking through, like, is it karate? Judo moves, not what we're wanting. Emblems. You just watch, I won't be able to find them now. Pages, there's horses. Not giving me the flowing look that I'm after though, or that I was kind of had in my brain. It's the trouble, you get something in your brain and it's very hard to let go of it and go in a different direction. Kind of get stuck on that idea. Some houses. I'm sure there's more that I have flicked past that I'm just actually not seeing. But anyway, so I'm thinking this perhaps gives me the flowing, or this one. But I don't really want to mess around with that tail. This one, a couple of parakeet, and what is it, 20 and 21. Scarlet macaw, that one, and sulphur-crested cockatoo. That's what I thought that one was. Common in Australia. And then we've got our New Zealand kiwi there. Now I've got to try and get this out without damaging any other bird, and this bird's tail is almost right on top of the cockatoo, so that was a bit tricky. You know, I'm trying to use things that are appropriate for a Trash Craft Tuesday, like a book that's falling apart and been well harvested so far. Still a lot to go though, so I'm going to leave a little border. Well, kind of. Bit wonky. Bit wonky, but that's okay. Sorry about the manky plaster on my thumb. They just don't last very long before they look disgusting, because of the amount of times I wash my hands. And there's no bad injury or anything underneath. It didn't even draw blood. It's just I sliced a little bit into my thumb. Didn't even draw blood. It was fine. But it also cut my thumbnail and down past the quick vertically, so down this way. So I can't trim it back to stop it catching on things because it's down past the flesh. So I've got to wait till it grows out, and just even going to the bathroom and fussing with my clothes, the bit of nail catches, and that's when it's painful, when it catches on clothing. So I just need to keep the sticking plaster on it just to stop it catching on things and, you know, sending shivers up my spine because it's a little bit stingy when it pulls that nail. So nothing drastic, just annoying. And the sticking plasters just get really gross looking very quickly. And I don't want to go through, you know, a gazillion band-aids while I wait for my thumbnail to grow. I'm using one every day, so that's fresh on this morning, and it looks like it's been there for 10 days, doesn't it? Terrible. And then it's when you've got something on your thumb like that you realise how often you use your thumb for holding things. And sometimes you're holding things that aren't clean, like a buttery cracker or something like that. And then you've got butter on your plaster, grease, handling firewood, just, yeah, mess everywhere. Is it any wonder that I wash my hands so frequently? Speaking of wood, we got another load of firewood delivered this morning, and I put away maybe a dozen or 2 pieces, and that was me done. I was like, last time I put 2/3 of it away. Today I'm like, no, I can't do it. So I put some away, and that's now that I've done that, I don't like it on the map because it's too similar. Unless, one other idea, want a contrasting colour, so let's find maybe this blue in the mottled. They're not direct colour matching, so between the mottled and the plaid they're not exactly the same colours, but they will work together. So first I need to find the mottled, okay, and find that blue. That's the lighter blue. Well, we could actually go with the lighter blue. Pull it out while we're there, and there's an even paler blue. I did really want the darker blue though. So hard to flick through these curly pages. Okay, let's just go with the lighter one. Kind of a mid blue, I guess. And I don't know if this will be big enough. Come on out of there. To open the hatch. Give it like a spotlight in behind. No, I don't like it, guys. Sorry about that. Spent all that time and I'm just not in love with it. It's a bit sad. So, let's go for my other birds and see. It's way too big. One day I'll find the right place for those owls. That's not it. No, don't know. Maybe I won't have much. Oh, quite like that. No, wrong direction. It's not bad. I think I prefer the other one. It's another owl. Oh, isn't he gorgeous? It's gorgeous. Gorgeous. No, I think this one is looking to be the best. I want to see if I've got one that's already cut out. That one's got a funky tail where it's been cut off. Smaller one? No. No, I wanted a more colourful. No, okay. Enough fussing then. I'll try and do this as quickly as possible. I really didn't know going into the video what I wanted to decorate with, and I'm just kind of running with whatever pops into my brain at the time. Otherwise I would have prepared better. But I was conscious of the afternoon wearing off. Wearing off? No, wearing on. Moving on, and I needed to get some stuff done, including this video. So I was like, enough mucking around, I've just got to jump into it or it won't happen. It's not too difficult to cut out, so it shouldn't take too long. Coming up the home straight now. And done. Right. Another sip of my tea. I think what I like about this one is it's got a bit of that blue in it, which ties it in with the background. And it gives me the above and below that I was after. So I'm going to have to try and work out where I'm gluing. So down about there, I think. As long as I don't glue my belly band shut, we'll be good. Whoops, I did go a bit far. Let's just wipe that off. Okay, so at the moment it's a bit sticky up, like so. But once it's in a journal, it won't. And then you'll still be able to slide in. So just popping that there so it doesn't glue shut. Just a fun belly band. And still with writing space. you know, because the paper is writable. Not all of them will be writable depending on the strength of the colour and the colour that it is, but this one is writable. And I just love that. I love the colour combination of the gold and the blue. Okay, so that's that for one idea for these fun bits of paper or card, the tea bag box cards. Okay, so let's grab out another one. And I've got those other bits that printed off wrongly. So I've got that scrap, I've got this blue scrap, and I've got green, yellow, red. Okay, they're all slightly different widths as well, which is not helpful, but not the end of the world either. Just put the lid on my glue. I keep leaving the lid off, which is also not helpful. Right, let's just trim off the white, and at least I get some nice bits of paper, you know, good usable bits of paper. I might coffee dye them actually. It's all very good, beautiful presentation paper. One and the red. Okay, so I'm thinking about, actually, we've got 5. Do we want to do a little stack and whack? We could do a wee stack and whack, you know. A little bit of an odd shape, but should we give it a go? I'm just not sure that I want the white space actually, now that I've decided to do stack and whack. So we need some solid colour, I think. So a mix of the Mottled and the Plaid. Let's just grab out some more papers. So we need 5. Let's do, just hunting through my stack here. Oh, they're all the double ups. That's not what we want. So I'm just getting the same colours. I feel like I haven't got all my papers here for some reason. Okay, let's do purple. Yes, bit of purple. We've got this green. Do we want another green? What else do we? Oh, maybe orange. If I can find the orange. Hello, orange. Come in, orange. Here we go. There's the orange. And I really, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I need another Plaid. That's what I need. So, otherwise, we've only got one. Maybe this one. Is that too similar? No, that'll be fine. Okay. So we've got 5. Now I've got to try and work out how I'm going to do this. Do I just want to trace around them? I might pause while I do this because I think this would be a little bit boring to watch me do this on all 5 papers. So I'm going to do the tracing, cut them out, and come back and we'll proceed with the stack and whack. Sound like a plan? Great. Be right back. I am so glad that I paused the camera to do that because it took me a few minutes more than I was expecting. Right, just grabbing some paper clips. You don't have to use paper clips. I just find it easier. So you're going to pop a clip there and a clip there. Now these probably are going to turn out more gappy than normal and may not even cover the edges because I've had to hand cut them all rather than use a measurer and, you know, cut them precisely. And I'm okay with that. nothing that a bit of ink won't cover if there's anything too bad. So stack and whack, if you're not familiar with it, need same number of bits of paper in exactly the same size as your bases. So typically 5 is a really good number. So I've got 5 bases and I've cut 5 bits of paper to the right size and shape, hopefully. And then you tear it into 5 pieces. So stack them together. You need to tear them together, not separately. So tear into, oh, I didn't put one in the middle. Let's just clip that, just so I don't, gives you a little bit more control, I think, when they clip together. So that's the middle part, and keeping them in order. I might just lay them this way because otherwise I haven't got room. And then there, and then you take your top and your bottom. So just got to rearrange my paper clip. So that is not across where I want to tear, and then I'm going to put a second paper clip on and tear it in half, and it gets quite tough to do. Or maybe we'll start from the bottom. Typically where you've got more area to hold on to is easier. So, oh gosh, there we go, finally got it started. Okay, and keeping everything kind of lined up so you know where it belongs, and then the middle stays in its piece that you've already done, and then you take the bottom piece and tear that into 2. So you've got 5 pieces. I'm going through it again just in case someone out there hasn't seen this technique before. It's a really good one. It's really fun and effective. Come on, paperclip, why aren't you going on properly? There we go, that'll do. Just making sure my papers are as lined up as I can get. For some reason that was easier to start. Okay, so we've got our 5 pieces. Now starting with one of the top corners in the top piece, and you just work your way across, laying out each piece in its appropriate place, and then you start on the next one, but this time you go and start on number 2, and you'll be able to see that each piece has a different color in the same spot on each tag. Right, the middle section, so we start on number 3, number 4, number 5, and then back to the start for number 1 and number 2. And 4th one starts on tag 4. Five, 1, 2, 3, and then can you guess where the last one starts? Starts on number 5, and then back to 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now the proof of how well these are going to fit together will come in the gluing down. So let me move the paper clips. Don't need those now. And I'm going to move these up here and do one at a time so that we keep them all the pieces in the right order. Okay. So, whoops, don't blow everything around. I love this technique, and an opportunity to play with this technique is a good day in my book. Had no idea I was going to do this today, and I'm not upset about it, about the fact that I'm doing it. So there will be gaps between the pieces purely because when you tear the papers, the individual layers tear at different points. So you get the same shape on each piece, but it will tear a little bit less or a little bit more in different places from layer to layer. So you can either just run with those gaps, embrace them, depending what base you've got as well. Or you can use a bit of ink to cover them up. Now this bit is wider than the base, and that's okay. We'll just slide it over to one side and we can trim off the excess. The other thing I realized when I was cutting things out, oops, is I'm assuming that all these bases are exactly the same. That may not be the case, but doesn't matter really. We'll just make the best of whatever it turns out like. I just think it's a fun, unique shape. You know, having a tag top and a tag bottom. And the other possibility with this is you could choose which way's up. So I've composed it this way up, but when you're decorating you might go, actually I like this top better, and just use it upside down. Or you could turn them into sideways belly bands as well. You could just make them as a whole bunch of sideways belly bands, and that would be absolutely fine. Now, of course, you can use whatever shape you like. This is just the shape that was inspiring me from our tea, but you could make your own tag shape. You could, you know, just be creative. You could use a straight rectangle. You could give it a sort of a shape. You could round it. Use a trace around a dish or something, or use a compass to create a rounded shape. So many options. You know I like giving you options. That's how we are creative, is because we see something and then we interpret it a different way or use it in a different way. So that's part of the fun, guys. Making something and not getting it the same as the one that you saw happening is not a bad thing. That is a great thing in my book. Now, I'm hoping this was the right way up. I think it was. Sometimes you can get a little bit like, oh, which way was it supposed to go? Now, I don't know why this middle section seems to be so much wider than the bases, because this one's too wide as well. I don't understand what I've done, but that's okay. Maybe one of them was a little bit wider than the rest, and that happened to be the one that I used as a template. Maybe that's what happened. A little bit long as well on this one. So that's actually telling me that they're not all exactly the same. I would have thought they would have all been cut on the same machine and be the same size, but apparently not. So we've got a little bit on the side and a little bit on the bottom. Are my non-stick scissors working? Well, it was easy to get them off the scissors, not so easy to get them off my fingers. Come on, get off, would you? I feel like Macbeth, out, damn spot, out. It's like, off, damn paper, off. Yep. Sticky, sticky, sticky. Now, do I want to... Oh, there's some really nice red. I'm going to keep that page and that page for the colour. So I can use bits of that for collage. So we'll keep that. Not much left of this glue book. I'm going to have to grab out another one. Good thing I've got a stack of them, isn't it? Love the old Reader's Digest condensed books for gluing on. And also as bases. So they perform double duty quite often. Glue on them, fold them up, turn them into a journal card or a pocket or a tag or whatever. Yep, again with the hangover and not caused by alcohol. Finding actually this double tag shape really useful for lining up the pieces and knowing that I've got it in the right place. It's actually quite beneficial. And I think these papers are looking really good for this technique. I think they're fun. You could choose out colours that, like, there's a bunch of different colours that would work together. You could choose out all warm colours or all cool colours, or, you know, whatever colours you wanted for a particular project. You could choose them out of the kits because there's multiple colour options, and that's one of the beauties of these kits. The links will be down in the description box if you wanted to go check out the kits. There's also a video from last week with a flip through of all of the pages, and there's a total of 73, I think. 73, that sounds about right, between the two kits. 73 pages. That's a lot of papers to play with. And I think especially fun for collage. Right, we've got this one and one more to do after this. I don't know, I'll have to check the time whether we'll get to decorate any, but just want to get them all down first. You really need, once you've torn the papers, unless you leave the bits paper clipped, and even then it's really easy to lose what order they were supposed to be in. So once you start playing with the different individual torn bits of paper, it's kind of a project where you need to keep going until everything's glued down, because you would just lose track and then wouldn't know how to put the jigsaw back together again. But like Humpty Dumpty, all the king's men and all the king's horses couldn't put Humpty together again. Well, it would be a similar thing with these, I think. You just would like, is that supposed to go there? It doesn't fit. What's going wrong? And it's just like you've got the center section upside down, or you've mixed up which one, and suddenly you've got two center spares, and yeah, like, it can be very difficult. I'm going through a bunch of glue pages here, but that's what they're for, so no drama. And I don't want to start with the middle piece. You need to start from one of the corners as well, just to get everything kind of lining up as best as possible. If you start in the middle, then, you know, you can glue it too high, too low, to whatever, and you're very easily going to end up with things not lining up properly. So believe me, methodical approach is best on this type of collage. Speaking of collage, I am going to be launching a new group, a membership, focusing on collage, and this is the first public mention I've had of it. I'm just dragging my heels on launching it because I'm scared. Here's my disclosure. I'm scared. I'm really excited. I'm really positive. I know I can do it, but I'm also really scared because it's a big step. Putting myself out there in a whole different way has got me a little scared. But I know I can do it, and I believe in what I want to do with it. It's brand new. It's still, you know, like it's not even really put together yet. But I'm going to be opening it for founding members to help build it with me. So you can join. If you're into collage, keep an eye out. I'm going to be sending out an email to my mailing list. So if you're on my mailing list, you'll get that email shortly when I get brave enough. And and I'll probably do a video, separate little video, just announcing it as well. Basically, it's the premise is to make collage accessible to everybody, to show how accessible it is, to help you if you're having problems, to look at all the many ways you can collage. So maybe you'll find your favorite, or just explore and have fun with the different techniques, and just all about collage and in a community, so we can all get excited for each other, we can all support each other, give each other tips, learn from each other, grow, and just have some fun in a very supportive environment. And there'll be lives, and there'll be lessons, and there'll be community, all sorts of fun things. So stay tuned for that if that sounds like something you might be interested in. Okay, and it's not just junk journaling collage, it's like we'll explore many types of collage, all paper related. I'm not going to focus on fabric collages or things like that, so I'm just adding a bit of ink there to dull down that white patch. And I think that's the only base white that we had showing, was that first one. Yeah, I'm excited, but I'm so nervous. I need to pull up my big girl britches and just do it. But yeah, it's hard. I'm an introvert and I'm full of self-doubt, and I just need to do it. Okay, so I've just inked one. What are we doing on time? Oh, we're not too bad. So we've got time to decorate one. I do want to do it a tag because we have already made a sideways belly band, but we could use them in different ways. So let's do this one as a tag. I do want to just give myself a little bit more thinking time. So let's just ink the back, and it's a lovely creamy cardstock on the dull side. This is the non-shiny side. So perfect for writing. I don't feel like I need to add writing paper or anything to it. You could, you know, do a little ink rub if you wanted, depending what you're working with, or cover it in writing paper, whatever. Okay, I want my hole punch. I want to punch a hole. Which end do I want at the top? I think this end. This is actually the bottom, I think. But it becomes hard to tell. Yes, that's the bottom because that was the taller section. But I'm going to make it the top. So you get to choose if you're using non-directional papers like these. There we go. Give that a little ink. Okay, now what do we want to decorate it with? Age-old question. Bit of music. Don't want it very wide because these are quite narrow. In fact, I should actually tell you how big these are. That would be a helpful bit of information. 1 3/4 inches or 4.5 centimeters by 5 1/4 inches or 13.3 centimeters. That's how big they are, and then it's got the angles cut at all 4 corners, which I'm not going to measure. Oh yeah, just like that, straight down the middle. That's not going to be tall enough. Let's go a new glue page yet again. Ooh, come on, glue stick. Oh my gosh, you glued yourself on there. So we've still got all those beautiful bits of paper visible down the sides, which is lovely. A little sip of my tea, it's probably cold. Almost. Not unbearable. Again, I think that blends too much with the background. That needs to be on a bright colour, I think, to really make it stand out. What do I want to use then? I'm wanting something quick and easy that I don't have to fuss with cutting out, because I've already done a bit of that. It's too wide. going to be too wide. I guess I could cut something off, but it's not too bad. Again, I'd have to cut it off, but it's a smaller one that fits. I think that one. Just have to trim some leaves off. Okay, I think I'll give it a little bit of ink. Don't really need to do the edges of the leaves because they're going to be cut off. Just very roughly inking. I'm not paying too much attention to getting it all properly inked. Right, now I need to be careful because of the cutouts in here that I don't gouge, because I'm very good at gouging. It's a special skill, I tell you, one that I'm highly experienced in, gouging out glue sticks. If you want to know how to gouge out a glue stick, then keep watching me, and I'll show you again and again how to gouge out your glue stick. Only the best skills learned here. Right, do I want to fold them around? No, I don't want to fold them around. I think that would be a bit silly on this, and we'd take up, you know, it's not a big area, so we'd take up a bit too much. Besides which, I didn't actually put glue on it, so there you go. Would have been a bad idea in all respects, but I didn't quite get the glue to the edge, so let's just add a bit of tacky glue in just in that spot. And I think some sort of label. Don't know if I've got any really small ones. I want something fairly plain, I think. No, I don't want the red. Red's too in your face. I think I want half of that up there. This is stamped from a gardening book. I think it needs something up there. Maybe like that. Maybe the two blue ones will work. Okay. It's just going to do it. Now, do I want that one up there and that one up there? Yeah, I think so. Just to make the numbers not quite so prominent, we'll just use half of that one. And then this one, which could be written on or stamped in if one wanted to. It's just stamped onto a bit of a digital. I'll trim this off. Edge in ink, and that where we cut the leaf off as well, just to make it look a bit more integrated. And one last thing, I hope we've got time, is to put something in the top. We need a little topper, I feel. We don't want red. Let's grab the little treasure bowl here. No lace. It kind of ties in a little bit with the flower, but I'm not sure that I'm in love with it. Bit of lace, that's a possibility. Some yellow, very wonky bit of yellow fabric. Can I tear that? Oh, wasn't easy. Very stringy. Take some of that off. It's still very wonky, but you know, it's Trash Craft Tuesday. That's what we're about. We're about a bit trashy, a bit junky, imperfect fun. It's just, I think, the right length to loop it through there. And I can just trim off some of those extra little fluffies. And it's actually got a hard seam there at the end, or selvage, so let's just... Oh, scissors aren't liking the fabric, so they might not be good fabric scissors. Or maybe it's just got a bit of glue residue on. There, we have a sweet little tag. We have 4 bases. That could be tags or sideways belly bands or whatever you like. Probably they are the 2 options I would suggest, but it also could be like a little side tuck or something, or bottom tuck. And then here is our... No, not that one. This is what we did last week. So that's not what I was... Where have I put it? It should be really obvious because it's yellow. Let's move the flowers. I've probably buried it. Oh my goodness. Guys, I am losing my mind. Where is it? No, here we go. It's all right, don't panic. Don't panic, we found it. Our little sideways belly band. And if we wanted, we could pop our little tag in there. Tag's too small for the space, but you know, that just gives you an idea. Actually, that's kind of cool. Put something over the side. You could even put like 2. Oh, I like that idea. 2 tags side by side. That's fun. I don't know that I've seen that before, where you've got not just overlapping and 2 tucked in, but 2 just sitting side by side. Like, I like that. I'm going to do that. So I need to decorate up the next one, and yeah, love that. That's so fun. Okay, that's it for today. So I hope you enjoyed a Trash Craft Tuesday with my little tea box divider thingies, and using Colour Essentials Mottled and Colour Essentials Plaid are the 2 kits that are available right now in my Etsy. Thanks for joining me, friends. Take care, have a beautiful day, and I'll catch you again soon. Bye.